Hello, everyone. I decided to go live today. I don't usually do that, but last time I did, a lot of people said they liked it. So I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit, and see if I get anybody to log in. I got the sun behind me. It's kind of cool, actually. That's actually for real. That's the sun right behind me, and that's the woods. It's a beautiful spot. I'm very lucky to be here. So we'll see if anybody comes in. Oh, we have one person coming in. If you're here, if you want to just say hi, let me know where you're coming in from. That'd be great. So I decided to come on today. I've done these videos about 2 other times. I did it in December, and then I did it again, I think, in February or so. Kind of looking at the next 3 months. So I don't usually do this, but I decided to do it again and look at the next 3 months. So kind of look at June, July, and August. And I think right now everybody's, I know for me, I'm kind of getting tired of all this. It seems like every day we have something new happening in the news. So I decided to kind of take a look at things and kind of see where we are. But I also wanted to mention that got some shows coming up on June 4th on Thursday. I'll be on with Nina, and we're going to be doing some questions. Oh, hi, Jan. All right. Hey, Jan was here with me where I am right now, and she's going to be coming back and doing some readings. And I just found out that you're going to be going out west here in October, so that'll be exciting. Yeah, so on June 4th, I'll be on with Nina again. We did a show a while back that we kind of talked about all kinds of different things, and we're going to do some readings together. We haven't done that on a show yet, so oops, I got to turn off my phone. So I got that turned off. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a show on June 4th with her, just talking about different things. We spent a little time on light language, so I think we're going to do that again, and then do some readings on June 8th, and then on the next June after that, June 22nd, I'm going to be on with my friend Kathy, and we're going to be doing readings. So I'm going to check that out. So that'll be fun. Kathy and I always have a lot of fun doing our readings together. And I think I'll be on June 15th with Scott, Scorpio Sun Tarot again. So that'll be great. And since Jan's here, we have to get our collaboration going, don't we? We got to come up with the time to do something here. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see what else. Oh, and also, if you want to check out my website, it's on the screen here. It's timetotranscend.com. And if you want to look into any private readings, I'm doing psychic and then mediumship readings. I'm also doing Akashic record readings. And then I also do Reiki via Zoom. So if you're interested in any of those things, check out my website, and you can check out my reviews that I have. There's a lot of information on there you can see if you're interested in that. And I try to make my pricing accessible so that if you're able to do it, great. Check it out. Let me know. Also, if you have any questions, there is an email on the website, timetotranscend@gmail.com. And you can email me directly. Also on the website, there's all kinds of social media links if you want to make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. And all the channels are really Tom Time to Transcend. So it's that for YouTube. It's also Instagram at Time to Transcend. And I added Substack, same thing at Time to Transcend. So I kind of kept things simple. So if you want to check those out, great. And for some people I know that do log in or make comments on some of the shows, it'd be nice to connect on it on social media so that if you have questions, you can do that directly. So yeah, Jan, I think it would be great. Let's get together and do something. It'll be fun. We got to get ready because you're going to come back here and we have another weekend we have to get ready for. So that'll be great. So I pulled some cards and I'll pull some more cards. So I use this, this deck here. I really like it. It's a Tarot Oracle deck. And it's got kind of a mixture of sort of quasi tarot cards with chakra cards. And I really like it. Oh, we got somebody else here. Hi, Leah Omega 8. Hello, welcome. So we're looking at the next 3 months. So we're looking at kind of what I'm kind of focusing on, obviously, right now for me, a lot of us is the United States and what's going on here. So June, July, August. I always try to pull cards from the same deck, 2 different sizes of the deck. So, and I like that because then I can see what kind of comes up together. So I think I'm going to start off with this. I pulled 2 cards related to patience. So patience, and then the same deck in a smaller version, patience and planning. And I think that really speaks to where we are right now. I think a lot of us, if we didn't have patience, we've probably developed it because we're all waiting for things, some developments, I think, to change and kind of settle down. We're kind of getting tired of all this crazy news that's happening. At least I am. I can speak for myself. But I do feel energetically that things have kind of, I feel like we kind of moved past some things, but I also feel like we're kind of like our gear shift is in like neutral. I feel like we haven't really figured out where we're going. So I think you're in that patience stage. So, yeah, I agree. We really need to surrender our hearts. I agree. It's, and find and keep our centers. Totally agree. It's important to stay grounded. And, you know, I do a lot of videos on my channel from messages that I get, and I post them, and the messages, a lot of them, it's all about looking inward instead of always looking outward and trying to find your own reality or your own truth. And I think that's really important right now because you can get lost in things. In fact, I think the recent video I posted was about discernment and looking for the truth, realizing that a lot of things that are being told to us are not exactly the truth. So, but that's going on. So I think we're looking at having some patience. And like I said, this deck has chakra cards in it. And I literally pulled 3 chakra cards right in a row. Oh, hi, Mirror Dragon. So a lot of people have been saying I should do this live, so I decided to do it. I was working on getting ready for the show with Nina on my coming up with these thumbnails, which sometimes don't work quite right the first time. So I just finished that, and I was like, well, I'm just going to go on. So yeah, so I think we need a lot of patience right now. I think our patience is getting tested. And one thing that I had a message from my guides 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago when I kind of had my awakening was, be patient, Tom, or you'll be a patient. So I always say that because I think that's kind of cute, but it is true. Like if you're going to drive yourself in a frenzy if you don't have patience. And my parents try to do a good job helping with that, and I'm still learning patience. But for right now, we need patience. So like I said, I pulled the patience card, and then I pulled 3 chakra cards. I pulled the crown chakra card, which is your I really see that as a connection to the divine, to a higher power. The throat chakra, speaking the truth. So I think we need to speak the truth. I think if we see something that's not correct or out there, I think we need to speak our truths. And our sacral chakra is, about fertility, so about creativity, about coming up with solutions. And so I think once we cross this next hurdle, I think by July, I feel like there's going to be some changes maybe with some things. And I think that when that happens, then we're really going to have to use our creative, and I mean us as the collective, and how we're going to move forward here. I also pulled the intuition card, and I feel like that goes along with the discernment, like I was talking about, one of my messages. So I feel like that's really important right now, is using our intuition, because we all have it, right? We don't listen to it all the time. And I think that's important. Oh, we have Kevin Lewis is here. Getting excited for that big event coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on. So, like I was saying, patience, having patience over the next 3 months. And then connection, I think being grounded, it's important also be connected to the greater, to the realm, to whatever. So, and that I think will keep your intuition flowing. I think that's really important. And I also pulled the spiritual strength, and I think that goes with the crown chakra card. So I think that what that means is really having a bigger perspective on things. I think sometimes we get so concerned about this little world that we're in, which is kind of sometimes drives us a little off kilter. I think it's important to know that there is something else out there. So, but then I pulled, which I think is pretty cool, is 2 cards around, well, prosperity begins and positive movement forward. So for me, that gives me a lot of hope. I feel like that we're going to cross a hurdle here in July. And I know there's a lot of people up and saying, astrologers talking about July being a big month. And I feel that as well. I think we need to get our passion. We need to find out what our passion is and get into that. That's really important. And then the last card I pulled, which is in this deck, is like the Sun card in tarot, is the light card. So you can't pull a better card out of this deck, just like on the tarot. So I feel like we're moving in the right direction. I feel like that's where we're headed. So I know when I did this video, this is the 3rd one now. The first one I did in December, I talked about truth being discovered, truth being uncovered. And I think we saw that happening. But I think right now I think there's a lot of things coming together, trying to change up our, trying to affect our reality or create the reality that they want us to have. And I think that's something we need to use our discernment, and also using our intuition. If something doesn't sound right, and especially if it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. There's something probably, as they say, something fishy about it. So, I think that's really important to think about those things. So, at least what I can pull here on these cards, it looks like in the next 3 months, we have a holding pattern, like that gear shift is in neutral. When we have that patience, being patient with things. But I do feel also that in July, there's going to be some movement, and staying connected to the greater realm, the greater world around us. And I think by August, we're going to see some, if we don't see the sun totally, at least we're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like there's going to be some changes happening. So that's what I got over from for the next 3 months. I guess we have a few people on here. If anybody wants to ask a question, I'm more willing taking a question. we'll see how that goes. If anybody has a question, it's in the chat box here. If they want to ask a question, go for it. Like I said, I have a couple shows coming up on June 4th. I'm with my friend Nina. It's on Thursday, and then the following Monday on June 8th, I'm on with my friend Kathy. We'll be doing questions again, and we really like on those shows. Really like doing mediumship questions. And then I'm going to be on Scott Scorpio Sun Tarot again, and we have a pretty good time doing those shows. We've done about 3 or 4 of them, I think, already. So those are coming up. And again, like and subscribe and like the shorts you see on the channel. I do them, try to do them almost every day, maybe every other day. Try to do some motivational things, and also check out the social media links on my channel. There's a lot of them there, so that way, if you want to reach out, we can reach out in different ways. And like I said earlier, I just added Substack. And I feel like some of the postings that I do on the YouTube channel, which I do post the channeling I get and the automatic writing that I do through my journaling, I post a lot of that. So I'm going to post a lot of that on Substack. And I think it comes across better. At least it's more obvious. So if you want to check that out, that'd be great. Let's see. Oh, so we have a question from Jan. Am I still on the right track? Well, I heard you're going to be on some tracks. That's a good thing, right? You're going to be going out west on the choo-choo train. I always wanted to do that. See, on the right tracks. I don't know. I feel like you talking about crossing a hurdle. I think you've kind of crossed that. You've kind of crossed that hurdle. Oh, no, I can't keep a secret. I'm sorry. That's not in my realm. So I tell people, don't tell me things. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, Jan. I hope that wasn't too much information. Are you still on the right track? Oh, good. It wasn't. Thank you. Thank you. On the right track. Yeah, I feel like you've kind of crossed I think you were at a crossroads a while back. I think you were kind of stuck, deciding which direction to go back to where you were and kind of go forward. I think right now I feel like you're now moving forward. Let's see here. Yeah, you've been through some difficult things here, but I see those are behind you. Oh, let's see here. Pull one more card. Oh, wow. Okay, so I pulled a couple cards here. I think we're talking about the past. So it's just about some difficult things you went through. I got kind of a heartache and loss card. I felt that was in the past. But I pulled this spiritual union card, and I do feel like that's your guiding force. That's what's guiding you along your way. But I pulled 3 cards at the end here, and one is partnerships and alliances. So I think you're getting your groove back. You got your channel back. You're doing that, and I think that's great. And by the way, Jen, if you want to put your channel in the comments, so if there's anybody that's on here, they want to like that as well. And Jan's my moderator, so thanks, Jan, I didn't even call you. I just went on. So again, I'm very impromptu too, so I kind of just do stuff. But look what I pulled. Recognition and reward. That is really good. And fulfillment of wishes. So, you kind of like came up with some struggle, kind of wasn't in a holding pattern, but I feel like you're heading in the right direction. So to answer your question you had, am I still on the right track? I believe you are. Yep, all good. Great. Thank you. Thanks for being on here. Hope that and again, we've got to get together and plan a time for a show and stuff. That would be great. Also, I wanted to say I have this huge audience out of the country on subscription. So I even included on the next show, I even did it so that people in India they wanted to watch it, because I have a really large audience in India. If there's anybody from India right now that's logged in, if you guys would say hi on the chat, that'd be great. Oh, here it is. So Jan Burke is Neptune's daughter on YouTube, if you want to check that out. Is it at Neptune's daughter? If you want to put in the at sign in there, that would be, then people could log it, could see it, or maybe that's what it is. I could probably do that too. Yeah, that's great. So we've got a few other people in here. Does anybody else have a question? I wasn't planning on taking questions, but since we're on, if anybody else has a question, there's Jan's information again. Oh, okay, she says if you search it, as you type it, it'll come up. Jan Burke, Neptune's daughter. There you go. Super. No other questions. Okay, let's just let's pull some cards. Let's see, today's Thursday. Let's pull some cards for the weekend. What's going on this weekend? Well, the first card I pulled was the Shadow card, which is like the Moon card in tarot. I just think there's so many things that we don't know that are trying to be covered up right now. But I think, again, it goes along with what I said. We really need to use our intuition and our discernment. So to realize that we're not being told the truth. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, this is kind of another thought about things with this new. We're conflicted. We want to. A lot of us we were brought up with watching certain things and believing them, and I think we're kind of in a conflict. Like, where do I look? Where do I look? So, yeah, there's a lot of things like that going on. Yeah. With the heart, exactly. We need to listen to the heart. We can't always rationalize everything in our heads. We need to use our heart more. Well, I don't really have anything else to talk about today, but check out those shows that are coming up, and I'm going to try to do some more lives on some shows by myself. I enjoy all the partners and stuff that I've been doing, but I'd like to do a few shows by myself too. So look for those, and look for the shorts. And if anybody has any comments or suggestions for the show, check out my social media links on Instagram, on Facebook, now Substack, and we can communicate that way. I welcome any suggestions to that. One of the suggestions was for me to come on live more, so I did. So that's all I really have right now. Oh, I forgot. I am on Instagram as well. Oh, we have 3 people on Instagram. We have Callie, Enigma's Light Wellness, and Tapsir Ahmed Shakil joined. If any of you want to have a question, I'll just hang on a little bit longer. If anybody on Instagram wants to ask a question that's still on, you can ask the question and I'll answer it. Going once, going twice. There's a little delay on Instagram. Anybody on Instagram want to ask a question? Oh, thanks, Mere Dragon. Been a really big supporter of the channel. I really appreciate your comments and opportunity to read for you and some of the questions you've had on this show with me, as well as with Kathy and with Scott. So it's been fun. Okay, I don't see any questions, so. Oh, it is. This is amazing. If you watch my shorts, oh, hi, Magical Rose Garden. If you watch my shorts that I post, a lot of them I take right here in the back in the morning, and I've taken them over the season. So you'll see some in the fall, in the winter, because I do come up here in the winter time. But a lot of the scenes are from, I love nature, so I use those in my videos. So yeah, it's beautiful up here. If you can get into nature, I just posted something on Instagram, and it was about some Japanese researchers that talked about, I forget what measurement it was, but when people go into nature, they were actually able to measure the stress level coming down. And when we know that, but to actually see it like that is great. So if you have a place you can go to and be, and I think we really need to unplug from all this. There's so many things. I'm talking about social media, which is great, but I think it's important to also find time with all that input. So, Mere Dragon says she's cooking for her dog. She'll ask questions next time. Okay, well, that's great. I'm sure your dog's very happy to be fed. Anyway, this has been great. And I will talk to you soon. I'll be on again. I enjoyed this. This is fun. Take care, everyone.